How's it going, everybody? Daner here with North Central Coins, and welcome back to another episode of the most rare and valuable coins from Australia. Today we're going to be discussing a few Australian coins that can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars that you probably had no idea even existed. Because these coins only have a few known examples, their rarity is only exceeded by their value. And even though you probably won't ever find any of these floating around in the wilds of circulation or in your pocket change, crazier things have happened, and you should never say never. In this video, we will explore the historical context surrounding the production of these incredibly rare and valuable pieces of currency and delve into why they hold such importance in Australian numismatic history. Additionally, we will discuss the distinguishing and identifying features, their significance among collectors, and also potential value if you are ever to find a legitimate example. Before I do get into this, I would really appreciate if you guys would smash that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and also ring that bell notification so you can stay up to date with my new videos as they are being released. Also, make sure to stay to the end of the video if you would like to find out how much you could get for these coins if you were ever to find one. And then without further ado, what do you say we get right into it and discuss the Kookaburra penny and half-penny pattern coins from 1919 to 1921. Let's get it, guys. Australian pattern coins, particularly the Kookaburra patterns from the year 1919 to 1921, are fascinating numismatic collectibles with a rich history. Here's some detailed information about these patterns. The Kookaburra pattern coins were created at some point during the early 20th century, specifically between the years 1919 and 1921. These coins were produced as part of Australia's exploration of potential coinage designs. Patterns are trial pieces struck to experiment with new designs, metals, and denominations before official coins are minted for circulation. In the case of the Kookaburra patterns, the Australian government sought to explore the possibility of including a distinctive native Australian bird, the kookaburra, on its coinage, also changing the design and shape to a square coin. The Kookaburra patterns featured a stunning design by famed Australian sculptor and engraver William Henry James Blakemore. The obverse of the coin typically bore the portrait of the reigning monarch King George V during this period, but it is the reverse and shape of these coins where their uniqueness truly shines. The reverse design prominently featured a kookaburra bird perched on a branch, often depicted in a lifelike and detailed manner. The design might have variations in terms of the size and positioning of the kookaburra, as well as the style of the branch and leaves. The denominations of penny and halfpenny were usually inscribed on the coin, indicating its intended denomination. Additionally, some of these patterns might feature different metal compositions or alloys such as silver, copper, or bronze. Kookaburra patterns are exceptionally rare and highly sought after by collectors. Their extremely limited mintage and purpose as trial pieces make them a rarity in the numismatic world. The exact mintage numbers for each of the different varieties can vary, but it is generally believed that only a small number of these patterns were struck. Some varieties might have mintage figures in the single digits, making them extremely scarce. The main factor that contributes to the rarity of these patterns stems from the fact that they were never intended for circulation. As trial pieces, they were struck for evaluation and testing, and were more likely melted down or destroyed after their purpose was served. Only a handful have survived to the present day, adding to their desirability among collectors. Top quality examples in pristine condition can command substantial prices at numismatic auctions and private sales. Collectors often compete to acquire these patterns when they become available in the market. Due to their limited supply and high demand, their value has the potential to appreciate over time. Australian pattern coins, like the Kookaburra patterns from 1919 to 1921, are not only valuable numismatic artifacts, but also important pieces of Australia's coinage history. Their rarity, striking design, unique shape, and also the story behind their creation make them a cherished part of the world of coin collecting. Now, these Kookaburra pennies and half pennies were minted between the years 1919 and 1921 And because of that, they have several different varieties and compositions that you can look for. But what I'm going to do is just give you guys the most valuable of these Kookaburra patterns. And if you are to find any of them, you can be sure that you're going to get some really good money for it regardless. So the first one that we are going to cover is going to be the Type 1 half penny. This one is composed of 75% nickel and 25% copper. It has a weight of 1.97 grams, a diameter of 14 millimeters. The shape is square. Now, if you were to discover one of these coins and you sent it off to be graded by PCGS or NGC, it would get the SP or specimen attribution. Usually trials, essays, and patterns will get the specimen designation, but they aren't truly specimen coins, they are trials, patterns, and essays. Now, the Type 1 1920 halfpenny can be worth around $177,800 for an SP63, $200,300 for an SP65, and $395,000 for an SP67, which is currently the highest graded known example of one of these coins. So that is some buku dollars for a coin that is only half of a penny, because this is for the 1920 half penny. It is the most valuable coin in this series and also one of the most valuable coins from Australia. It stands up next to the 1922 3p coin with the 2/1 variety, and definitely a holy grail in the realm of Australian numismatics. The next one that we're going to cover is going to be the Type 4A 1919 penny. This one is composed of 92.5% silver and 7.5% copper. So you notice the composition change between the previous coin and this one. The weight of this piece is 4.67 grams. It has a diameter of 18 millimeters and the shape is square. In terms of value, this one can be worth around $67,200 for an SP63, $75,700 for an SP64, and all the way up to $237,000 for an SP65. So not quite as valuable as that previous half penny, but still another extremely valuable coin and a holy grail in the realm of Australian coin collecting. Next up is the Type 6A 1919 penny. This one is composed of 92.5% silver, 7.5% copper. This one has a weight of 4.41 grams. So you will notice this penny actually has a slight weight reduction over the previous penny. The previous penny was 4.67 grams, and this one has a weight of 4.41, which is pretty interesting. It has a diameter of 18 millimeters and the shape is square. Now, in terms of value for the Type 6A 1919 penny, you can get around $67,200 for an SP63, around $75,700 for an SP64, and all the way up to $237,000 for an SP65 example, and that is for the Type 6A 1919 penny. The last coin that we are going to cover today is going to be the Type 10 1920 penny. This one is composed of 75% nickel and 25% copper. So the previous two were composed of silver, but this one is actually composed of nickel, just like the first half penny that we discussed on the list. The weight of this coin is 3.88 grams. It has a diameter of 18 millimeters and the shape is square. In terms of value, it can be worth around $118,000 for an SP63, around $133,500 for an SP65, and all the way up to $256,000 for an SP66, which is currently the highest graded known example. Now, what do you guys think about these Australian trial or pattern coins? What would you ever do if you found a legitimate example, or if you ever have found any coins similar to the ones that I discussed in this video? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to know. Also, I would really appreciate if you guys would smash that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and also ring that bell notification so you can stay up to date with my new content as it is being released. But I think that is pretty much going to do it for this one, folks. So until the next one, everybody, peace out and have a good one, y'all.